Welcome to my brand new series where I'm going to be showing you guys what exactly goes on in the mind of an Apex Predator. If you guys are looking to get better at Apex Legends, trust me, this series is going to help out a lot. You are going to see exactly what Predators do in order to win games. A lot of little things go on that aren't necessarily vocalized as much and are just very small habits that make good players great players. The first tip I'm going to give you guys is counting squads and how many players are left alive. This is extremely useful early game, mid game, and end game throughout the entire game, but especially end game. The reason for this is because you'll instantly know exactly who your threats are. You'll know if it's 3 full squads, 2 full squads and a solo, another full squad and 2 duos, things like that, and you'll know what you need to worry about essentially. So for example, if it's 4 over 10, meaning 4 squads left, 10 players alive, and you see a duo die in the kill feed, that means that the rest of the squads is another 3-man and a duo. Or for example, let's say it's 4 over 10 again, and you see a solo die, that means it's all full squads, and that's extremely important to know so that when you're going into a fight or going into an engagement, you know how to deal with it because you know what the other team is, and you should also know where they are at the same time. So in this situation, we instantly realize it's 4 over 12, that means every squad is full, and we watch one full team move away from actually a really strong position, and we instantly capitalize and take it. This brings up another tip that a lot of Apex Predators must do if you're trying to gain. You need to be actively thinking about what you could potentially do in the future. You can't be stagnant, sitting where you are and being comfortable. You need to look at what are some power positions, what are your potential next moves, are you going to fight this team here to try to take this position? Do you know of a spot on the lower ground or somewhere else that you can take that's actually decent to hold? You need to be actively thinking about this all the time in endgame. Otherwise, eventually you're going to start getting pressured by the zone and the zone's closing in. You don't even realize, and just like that, you have the zone on your back, no plan, no potential position that you know about, and you basically get killed for that, throw your game, and you don't get RP. So again, that tip, you need to be always actively thinking about what your next move is. Already on tip number 3, there's going to be a lot of tips in these videos. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to be giving out a lot of juicers, all right, boys? You need to create a mental note of where exactly all the teams are so that you know whether or not you're going to get pulled up on your backside and who is your biggest threat. At the moment in this clip, we only know about the team that padded to our far right and the team in front of us. We don't know where the last team is, which is what we're worried about. That's why we're not overextending. We're not trying to take too much damage, because it's possible that the last team is somewhere behind us and may try to pressure us for our position or a position near us. We want to make sure we're healthy and ready for that. And just like that, we're already on tip number 4, and this one is a huge one. This is what I noticed makes or breaks master players to pred players, and that's being able to pressure and set presence. This is not something that you can learn extremely easily. It's actually really hard, because at the end of the day, it comes down to realizing your positioning, timing, when to peek, and just general gun skill. So if someone naturally has better aim than you, you're gonna have a hard time. But at the same time, understanding timing and getting a feel for how they're playing and how they're shooting is really gonna help you know how you can deal with that and out-trade them. I myself, I'm not a god aimer. I'm horrible at aiming, but I still am able to out-trade and set presence in almost any situation against the best players. At this point, we've set quite a bit of presence on the team below us, and we instantly realized that the last team was actually behind the Octane. Now we know where every single squad is, and we know the team below us is a 2-man. While the team below us is occupied with the Revenant team that just killed their Octane, we're actually going to take this opportunity to go and shove the 3-man that padded away way earlier in this clip. I know you guys are going to hate the Rev team push, but you guys got to realize it's just meta. There's a lot of good players that still play Revenant because it's simply meta and just OP. So if you guys want to hate for that, you can hate. It's all good. I understand it. He's just a lot easier to play, but he is meta. Anyways, back on track. We go shove this team with our Rev. I just run in there because honestly, I'm just trying to create an opening, get a little bit of damage. Didn't do much. My teammates luckily get a knock and we send back in. And this is just where we kind of full wipe them relatively easy. I nearly die here. I'm pretty trash. And just like that, we now have more real estate to play in our end zone. But we need to get back to our height, our power position instantly. We can't let the 2-man or anyone else try to take it. But yeah, with this extra real estate, we now have more angles to play and hold people out and fight them and pressure them and do things like that. So fast forwarding a little bit, we're actually just going to go back to our height just to make sure we don't get pulled up on our backside. And right here, you'll actually see me ping these pills. And this is a really good tip, because when you're trying to get into an end zone and figure out what's actually in, you can ping just to make sure that, hey, maybe that rock's in, maybe this pill's in. And that's exactly what we do. And now we know exactly where we need to play. So at this point now, I'm actually going to get an off angle. And the reason for this is because we want to make it as hard as possible for every other team. We don't want to allow them any breathing room. We want to have all the real estate, force them into very tough situations. So cutting forward a little bit right here, as the zone's closing, we know notice there's a 3-man that's holding a very strong head glitch, and then there's a 2-man on the left inside the house. Instantly, we need to realize that our main threat is the 3-man on the head glitch because that position is actually relatively strong. I hit one of them for 81 perp, and instantly I tell my teammates to go send them as I anchor on the 2-man just to make sure they don't come and camp our totem or kill us as we get reset on our totem. My teammates then get a knock, and I instantly ask them to anchor while I go thirst the down tap.
Anchor backside.
And just like that, we're now in a 3v2v2, and the play we made is setting us up for a really easy win. Now, obviously, this was made really easy because we were a rev tank comp, and just to give you guys an example on how you can do this without a rev tank comp, let's say you have a Gibby. You can wait for a crack with one of your guns, throw your Gibby ult, stop them from healing, or crack them some more with a Gibby ult, push up on them with bubble, and then just fight them 3v3 as they're pressured and really weak. Another option you can do is pressure the 2-man, get a crack on the 2-man, and have 2 of your 3 guys go and try to 2v2 them while the 3rd anchors on height and prevents the other team from pressuring you or pushing you. Or just have all 3 of you instantly go and wipe the 2-man quickly, reestablish some decent positioning, and just go for a straight 3v3 endgame. An extremely important thing to learn when it comes to endgames is the very last circle, and essentially you need to figure out where the enemy teams are and who needs to move first. So for example, in this situation, the team on the right that's holding the head glitch has to move first because they're further away from the end zone, and we're on the slower side of the zone closing. Since we know this, we need to make sure that when they need to move, we're ready and we're just going to kill them. Unfortunately, we were not as ready as we should be, but we luckily got some damage at the last second, and I was able to capitalize on the Revenant. But also to note, the other team inside the house was actually helping us, and that's a really good thing to remember and try to take note of, is which team is in a pinch, because whoever's helping you pinch that team is going to be able to help you get them out of the game that much quicker. So in this scenario, the team in the building was actually helping us put the team on the right in a pinch, and they actually helped us beam them as they're trying to rotate into a new position. And just like that, with all of our decisions, information, and awareness, we were able to easily win that game. So trust me, the tips that I'm giving you, if you apply them to your game, they're going to help you out a ton in the end game. I appreciate you guys taking the time of your day to watch this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to slap a like, maybe even subscribe. I'm going to be giving out a lot of tips on how to get better at Apex. Make sure you guys let me know what you think of this video. I really need some feedback. I'm trying to improve. If you guys want me to elaborate on some things better, maybe make some more videos on certain tips and explain them more in depth, I'm happy to do so. But yeah, just make sure you guys leave your feedback down in the comments below.